Hey everybody, this is Daisha from the Angel Fire Brief. I have not um, been quite so impressed with the military action of what has happened back and forth between Israel and Iran for the last week or two. I've not been able to really contemplate at a very deep level, like what actually just happened. And I realized that the logistics of, the situation today that happened with the airstrikes that took place on the missile bases and the weapons bases in Iran, I definitely think that this administration is genuinely thinking about the logistics of what it looks like to attain and obtain peace in the region. I think that this administration carried out a very well planned, well thought out, both ballistically and logistically, exact precision, in fact, operation this morning and overnight last night, over both Isfahan, Natanz, and Fordo. And so I think that when we talk about these things in the American Persian, or part Persian in my case, like di- diaspora in this country, I would say easily folks that are aware in the Persian community of Khomeini's like last 20 or 30 so odd years of retaliations and like planning like evil things in the Middle East, in the logistics of a zero casualty, like zero, again, zero confirmed civilian casualties in any of the airstrikes. And I just I want to thank this administration, for not just actually like thinking about the logistics of what is best for the American people, but also the logistics of what looks like an actual path to peace and genuine peace in the Middle East. And I think that I'm going to have a lot of criticism come at me for some of these statements, but the fact is that Khomeini is a killer. Um, he's a very deceitful man and has done an awful lot of very evil things in a lot of different parts in the Middle East, as well as a lot of evil things, plans that have been instituted here in the US community as well. And so I know that there is a plausible diplomatic solution, but I'm not going to condemn the airstrikes at all that took place this morning, even though, like, some of that is part ancestral homeland for me. I think these things are necessary to obtain peace at a long term standard in the Middle East, and I don't support Khomeini's regime. I'm sorry, but don't support the Israeli lobby simultaneously either. It's not as easy as this, and I think that I just watched um, Reza Pahlavi speak to Fox News, and I think that there is some very serious, plausible planning that could take place there. If the Shahs of Iran were reinstated, it would obviously genuinely change up the geopolitical atmosphere in the Middle East immensely, as well as like long-term counterterror goals for the region would be just the logistics of the political change up of the guard in Tehran would be immensely helpful for the majority of the rest of the region. I think would be logistically immensely helpful for U.S. Iranian relations simultaneously as well. And I do support Mr. Pahlavi. I know that he has been an outspoken critic of Khomeini's regime for quite some time. And I think that there are plausible diplomatic solutions that could be held and met. But I do not condemn this administration for taking out the logistic, ballistic annals of Iran. I think that if we're talking about sustaining long-term peace, that might be I would say, one of my strategic hit points in the region would have been that. And so I think that I want to give a very like firm expression of gratitude to the Trump administration for carrying out the thing that was carried out this morning. I think everybody is expecting me to somehow criticize this, and I can't. When I think I believe and I can see that he's actually on a path to peace and trying to like clearly institute some serious counterterror measures to the region. I don't know what else to say. I support Peter Hegseth. I support this country's goals in the region. I think I would institute a political change-up of guard in deeper diplomatic resolution on all fronts, and carry out with contractual agreements and peace accords from here. I think that I would hope no more bombings of either Israeli territory or Iranian territory would be considered a necessary maneuver at this point. I think the logistics of some of the main vein of the threat, as it were, in the region have been actually systematically taken out. And then from here on, I could genuinely see just a change up of the guard in Iran and like better U.S. relations in general, and following up with deeper levels of diplomacy. Anyway, that is my 2 cents, and that is my take on the thing that happened this morning. You guys all have a blessed afternoon. Be well, inshallah, and come see me again sometime. Bye.